The statement, "if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself," is one that runs true when it comes to people who enjoy things of a more niche variety. Be it those who relate to a less popular side character in a series, or those who love a specific underused trope. And this drive to see something done right, if not done at all, is what led Twitter user Van Ripper Art to create a game full of their niche, this being the hellish harem hoedown, Helltaker. Helltaker is a short but cute puzzle harem game created by Łukasz Piskorz, which I apologize if I butchered that name, and was published on May 11th of 2020. The game itself exploded in popularity with tons of artists and fans of the game finding a lot of charm in that mixture of cute girls and fun game design that was a bit tough but also fair. And it fulfilled a niche that Łukasz says was lacking in games media, this being cute demon girls in suits. And I can't recommend people play this game more. It's short, sweet, and to the point, and free to boot, so there's no reason not to pick it up and at least give it a try. Though if you need more convincing, let me tell you a bit more about the game itself. Helltaker is a game with a very simple premise. This being, you are being told the story of Helltaker by the Lord of the Flies themselves, Beelzebub. Helltaker is a man who woke up one day with a dream to acquire a unique harem of demon girls. So he dons his best suit and descends into hell to achieve this goal. This starts the game itself, which is a movement puzzle game, where Helltaker must traverse one of many levels in a limited amount of steps, or he's killed and forced to start over from the level that he's on. The main goal of each level is to approach the demon girl of that given level, and this might call for Helltaker to kick some rocks, unlock some doors, or even break some enemies. But once he's made it to the girl themselves, he enters into dialogue with them. An SMT-style demon negotiation, except for it's actually well made. This segment requires you to answer correctly in order to progress and acquire that given demon girl into your harem. Answer wrong, and you may not be so lucky. And as the levels progress, you slowly start to build up more confidence in your movement pattern and your understanding of the game's mechanics until you start actually working out what's the best and most optimal workaround for this specific level. It even offers players a hint option that gives them sort of a subtle hint at how to solve the level itself, even if the hint itself doesn't seem very obvious from the get-go. Though, the most helpful hint you get is that if you're struggling, you can just skip the level from the main menu. Now, plot-wise, the game is very straightforward with its approach, and it mimics that of the conception of the game itself, with Łukasz wanting Helltaker to be made because he wanted to see some demon girls in fancy dress, and decided that the only way that he could do this is if he donned his best artist ped and got to drafting. And you can see a bit of Łukasz' own personality in the gameplay itself, as Helltaker actually takes a combination of a few things that Łukasz enjoyed, such as the core gameplay coming from LK Avalon's Sapper, a 1993 DOS game that was basically a Sukoban clone, where the player would move around an area from a top-down perspective and strategically set off bombs. And then the dating sim / demon negotiation element of Helltaker is inspired by Monster Prom's own dating sim gameplay. And then finally we see a bit of Undertale-style dodging in the final boss fight itself. Though, what would be the point of assembling this harem of girls if the people you wanted to meet weren't all that interesting? Łukasz seemed to put a lot of effort into designing all the demon girls that you get to see in Helltaker. First, he started out with working at a general template for the designs in the game, finally deciding on an overall red and black motif for all the characters due to his color blindness. And this evolved into an extremely limited color palette for the game, where all the girls you meet are, in one way, pale-skinned and have some kind of horn, either black or white varying on their age, and they wear red or black to some degree, except for one character. And with this general template selected, Łukasz now had to make all the girls stand out by their own subtle design differences, which he does fantastically, with every girl having a distinctive feature that gives them a unique silhouette and plays well with the character's name or gimmick. Like you have Pandemonica, who has fluffy sheep-like hair that plays well with her subtitle of the Tired Demon, given sheeps have a relation to sleep themselves. Or the best girl, Justice, the Awesome Demon, who wears a pair of MMA-style gloves and thick sunglasses, and her suit jacket is over her shoulders to give the impression that she was always ready to fight, given that she used to be the old High Prosecutor of Hell, but also she wears glasses to cover up for her blindness, which plays well into the term, Justice is blind. Though probably one of the coolest design choices comes from the Ying yin-yang design of both the Queen of Hell Lucifer and old-time friend/rival Beelzebub, as both of them are the only two demons in the game with white horns, which show that they are extremely old. But since Beelzebub was sealed away into the void from the rest of Hell, we notice a large divide between their two designs, with Lucifer having a more modern business suit with a large abundance of black all over her color palette, and Beelzebub, who was separated from the rest of Hell, has a more old-style fashion, with her design giving off the impression of more of a carnival barker instead of a fancy business suit, with Łukasz even saying that one of the original design influences for it was Princess Diana's elephant suit. But it also has an overall fly aesthetic to go with her Lord of the Flies naming theme, and on top of that, it even has a fly wing decal on the inside of the suit itself. But most importantly, to oppose Lucifer's mostly black color palette, Beelzebub is mostly red. And of course, to play more into these two's own yin-yang aesthetic, they're also the only two in the game who have specific facial traits, with Lucifer having a beauty mark and Beelzebub having freckles. Though everyone in the game has a look that is distinctive in one way or another. Even their names matter. In the case of Melina, she was given a specific Slavic name to play into the salty nostalgic character concept that Łukasz was thinking of. Or Azazel, an angel that you actually meet in Hell, which is based on Azazel, one of the many fallen angels of biblical lore, who is known as the fallen angel that brought forbidden knowledge to mankind. Thus, Azazel in the game is an angel who is obsessed with research and obtaining knowledge, and she's given the title of a curious angel. But even on top of that, it's implied slightly through dialogue near the end of the game that Azazel's title of the curious angel might be in reference to someone who is experiencing sexual curiosity as well, as she seems oddly fixated on another character's exposed breasts. But with that all said and done, there's still other demons that you can encounter in the game that I haven't mentioned here, and I highly recommend that you actually give the game itself a try. As I mentioned before, it's free on Steam, and a playthrough shouldn't take you more than 2 hours unless you're just really bad at solving puzzles, but even if so, you can just pick the option to skip the level and go play another one. And I'm glad that this game connected with so many artists, and the flood of high quality art that has come from this, just barely over a month of its lifetime, is amazing. So I really thank Łukasz for the charm that he pumped into this game. But one thing about it that really stuck out to me is how transparent he is with his influences. It's probably one of my favorite things from any kind of author. When someone just says what inspired them to make a certain aspect of a game, I love that because it helps me understand the perspective of the game so much more, and Łukasz has been very forward with his ideas, especially if you buy the art book, which I also highly recommend. It's $10, it's not that much, and you get a sick pancake recipe out of it. So please, check out Helltakers. I look forward to whatever Łukasz chooses to do in the future. I can only hope that we get more Helltaker, maybe more Justice specifically, because she's the best girl. But yeah. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like it in the future, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/MetiNotTheBadGuy. And if you want to experience the hellish harem yourself, well, you can do so by buying a copy of Shimonetta at buyshimonetta.com and then going and downloading Helltakers.